Liverpool on Sunday, probably the biggest game of the new season. And I want to hear your comments, guys. How do you see this game coming, ending? I want to hear what you're expecting from this game. Who's going to be your favorites to win the game and why? Give your reasons right now in the comments. So we are live again. Now we're giving the stats, looking at where these teams are coming from, how they got here, and what is going to happen here from here now going all forward to the next. So I was looking at the stats, and in all the games that Chelsea have played with the different teams, it seems like Liverpool is the team that has got the most, has actually hurt Chelsea more than another team by winning 20 games since the Premier League era, since we moved from the league to the Premier League era. So I'm talking from 2001, if I may say, from 2000 to 2020. Liverpool have been the team that has beaten Chelsea more than another team in the Premier League. At the same time, it's a big game. There's now a small recent rivalry that started between Lampard and Jurgen Klopp that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but we know that it is there and we don't want to cover it. So there's a lot of things to talk about in this game, and it's going to be interesting, and we want to see how it will move on from where we have known this game to be to how it's going to happen. So in Liverpool's history, looking at the stats that are there. Oh, before I go there, please help us, guys, by clicking the subscribe button, by clicking like. If you are new, click subscribe, because we talk football each and every time. At the same time, if you like this live stream or this video, please do us a favor, click like in the video, because we are going to be talking about the interesting stuff, especially with the new announcement that came out earlier in the morning, when we were actually confirmed that we actually receiving a confirmation that Liverpool have signed Thiago Alcantara. So we might not think he might not be ready before when the game between Liverpool and Chelsea is played, but we definitely know that he'll be there, because he's going to the Merseyside tomorrow. That's when he's going to the Merseyside, Thiago Alcantara. So that's a big boost for Liverpool. So at the same time, Chelsea has done a lot of signings this summer alone. If it wasn't because of the signings that Chelsea have done, we wouldn't be talking about, or we won't be worried as much as it is, especially for us as the Liverpool fans, about the game. But now, because of the new changes that Chelsea has done, they've spent £200 million just to sign new players in the club, so that they can try to change, so that they can actually go and fight for something under the coach Frank Lampard. So the biggest talks in this game is, firstly, the Liverpool defense, secondly, the Chelsea goalkeeper situation. Those are the most biggest talks that are hitting this all over the news wherever you go. They are wondering, people are asking themselves, will Liverpool perform at their full best, or will Chelsea perform at their full best to actually win this game? Because a lot of eyes of the world will be exactly in this game, waiting and watching what exactly would happen. So it's gonna be an interesting game, I tell you. It's gonna be an interesting game, and we can't wait for whatever that is going to happen. It's Chelsea versus Liverpool, and it will be at Stamford Bridge, and there are a lot of things that is happening in this clash back then, like some famous goals that were scored by Captain Jadon Anderson and Daniel Sturridge in that 1-1 draw. There are a lot of draws in the past, like in the past 3 seasons. Chelsea was one of Liverpool's worst nightmares, because they used to lose a lot against the club. I'll show you all the history of all the games that were played. So now, from where we were, building up to where we are coming from now, which is now this Klopp era. Since 2018, Liverpool were transformed into a different team by the bringing of Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, Naby Keita, Fabinho, and they transformed the team to be the Champions League finalist in to be the Champions League winners against Tottenham in 2019, and also the Premier League winner in the 2019-2020 season. So it's gonna be interesting to see where we build on from this, cause a lot of eyes are on this. Cause I want to cover, okay, let me say this. I'm going to cover first the Liverpool part. what we are expecting from them. Hello, Mr. Mobin, how are you doing, say? So we are talking about the biggest game that is coming next week, which is Liverpool versus Chelsea. Not next week, on Sunday. I want to hear your thoughts, and who do you think, or who do you reckon to win in this game, because it's going to be a bigger game that a lot of people will be watching, wondering what happens. So please do that, leave a comment there, and please don't forget to like this video, because we do videos like this every time. So please do us a favor by liking this video. So there are a lot of things that we're going to be focusing on in this game, especially in this game, because there will be a lot of eyes looking at this game. Like, for example, Liverpool, after winning the Champions League, with a season that almost was looking like they were going to go the whole season without being beaten, and they were beaten by Watford and Arsenal and Manchester City in the last games after they'd confirmed that they've won, and after leading their whole pack with 22 points last season, we wonder what is going to happen in this newly refreshed Chelsea that Liverpool will be facing. How do you see them actually preparing themselves to actually win something under this? Liverpool will win. That's Mr. Mobin saying this. Yes, that's what I think. Liverpool will win. But at the same time, we have to look at what is happening here. Chelsea have a lot of new players who I know that maybe they might not have yet linked in chemistry and stuff like that, but it's a new club and it's a new team that Frank believes can challenge, not exactly for the title, but for top fours, and actually can leave marks. And if they manage to beat a little team like Liverpool, that will actually set a mark to all the games that are going to come, that they've done the impossible. So those are all the questions we are asking ourselves from now on as we build on to this game. What is going to happen, and how do we see this game going? Because it's going to be interesting, I tell you. Because Kepa has his problems, and it seems like a lot of clubs or a lot of teams are now utilizing that mistake to actually benefit from that. For e.g., if I may give you an example, you remember in last season that passed, 2019-2020, where Kepa was playing with the team, I don't remember which team, and he got an injury. Then the coach, Frank Lampard, or the manager, decided, or he thought with his panelists, that he substitutes Kepa, but Kepa refused to go out of the game, which was weird. And from then he got, I think that was the genesis of his downfall, because the team never treated him the same. The club always expect him to fail because he disrespected this. At the same time, the fans changed and turned their back against him. So all of these things are going to play a bigger factor in the game that is coming. But also we have to be reminded that Chelsea are in for a goalkeeper who's Mendy, who we believe that we were told that he might be joining the club maybe today. They were saying that it could be confirmed today, which has not yet happened. In fact, if you look at it, it seems like the Thiago has actually been confirmed faster than even the Mendy keeper, who they've been talking was actually on the verge of entering the club. So it's actually interesting to find out what is going to happen in this game. Because, for example, for Liverpool, for example, they've been having the worst defense nightmare since this new Liverpool was formed, this team that has broken a lot of records. At the same time, it seems like some of the four backs have not been exactly on form like where you expect them to be. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens as we move on to the new league, because a lot of people will be looking at this game wondering, how do we build on from this to go where we want to go, because there will be a lot of things that will be happening in this game, and we hope that at least we get what we deserve as the fans, because we want to be happy. At the same time, as much as I'm supporting that Liverpool might win, if you look at it, I think it's going to be hard for them to come up with a point at Stamford Bridge unless Kepa and the defense are actually challenged to lose focus. Remember now, Thiago Silva is now at Chelsea now. He was training with the club as he prepares for Liverpool. At the same time, Thiago Alcantara is coming to Liverpool. As much as we want him in this game, I don't think he'll be fit enough to actually compete for this game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this game. At the same time, we're hearing the links that Liverpool might be getting Saha. So for the season in general, after all these things that has now changed, the new thing that has just changed, how do you see us developing to where we want to be as Liverpool fans. I want to hear you from you, Liverpool fans. How do you see Liverpool doing from this to where we'll be going next? Because it's going to be interesting and it's going to be challenging for both the clubs, because we'll be looking at it a lot, wondering what's going to happen, because that's the best thing we would want to actually receive in this game. It's going to be an interesting game, I tell you. So before I waste time, let me show you some past games that were played between the two, which I told you that since 2000, is it 2000, Liverpool has won more games against Chelsea than any other team in the Premier League. So the last, if we talk about the last 5 games, which I'm counting right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Liverpool has won more than Chelsea. They've won exactly 4 out of 1, and the one was in the FA Cup, where Liverpool were actually not fielding their strongest team. People might complain that I'm giving excuses, but I have to say something. The last time Liverpool drew against Chelsea was when Eden Hazard was still at Chelsea, where he scored the last minute goal he scored, which was it last minute? No, it was actually the first goal that Liverpool had to come back from to actually draw the game with the Daniel Sturridge kick that he kicked, which was just amazing. So it's gonna be interesting to find out what happens, because now, because of the recently defense issues that Liverpool are having, now everyone are thinking that Liverpool are gonna lose the game. But we have to look at these guys. We have to be reminded that these guys are still the Premier League winners, the Champions League winners, the World Cup winners, the what do we call this? The what is this? I'm trying to remember it. I'm trying to put it in my head. Oh, the Super Cup winners. So, okay, as much as you might believe as a Chelsea fans that at least you might win this game, it's gonna be interesting to find out how this game is actually played, because a lot of things are going to happen, a lot of things are going to change, because it will be very interesting to see how we develop from it, because a lot of things and a lot of people are expecting the best out of this game. But I see the Jurgen Klopp's boys. The biggest win that Chelsea can get from this clash is either a draw. But rather than that, for me, maybe because I'm a Liverpool fan, I see Liverpool winning this game. And also I have Mr. Mobino supporting me on the case. Do I have any other people who might say that this may not happen, or there is their own reason that they see either way Chelsea winning this game? Because if I look at it in my own eyes, I don't see that happening at all. So it's gonna be an interesting clash, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna be an interesting clash. A lot of things are gonna be happening. I know there are some interesting goals that were scored, but like if you remember, I'm trying to remember the game where Eden Hazard came back from Chelsea that was losing 2-0 and scored. I think yeah, it was in no, was it in 2015? No, it has to be 2018, this game where Chelsea won by 2-1 at Anfield at the League Cup, which we can call the Carabao Cup, where Eden Hazard hit an acute angle goal where Mignolet was the keeper at that time, and it went in. Like Liverpool just left stranded. I know a lot of Liverpool fans like me will be saying that okay, it wasn't really the biggest team, but they did score and they did took a result from us. So it's gonna be interesting, because this has been one of the most challenging teams that we have ever heard. So we wanna see what happens in this game. I think we might actually say, most of the Liverpool fans I heard, they were actually celebrating that it might be the best game that they got before Chelsea actually linked in and they actually compacted their new strike force and the new team together to work together. Because if you've got them at their full force, this was going to be one of the hardest games we have ever played or we will ever play. But because of the situation that is there at the moment, Liverpool can benefit from that, because at least that team is still united, even though there are some situations that need to be mended. And I believe the Thiago deal that has been done is going to play a bigger role, and also the Islam Sarr deal that is already on the verge. It seems like Liverpool are now actually doing business that is going to transform a lot of things thanks to Edward. So it's going to be interesting to find out how this thing move on, because we are going to see a lot of things. So guys, I'm going to cut a little bit then come back to the stream. There's something that I need to do with a few minutes that is very emergency. I'll be back in no